Shannon Gaffner-Holmes, and welcome to my channel. My channel is about epigenetics and living as healthy as possible, disease-free. What does that truly mean? What does epigenetics mean, and what does that mean for you? Well, in about the last 15 years, there has been a study about our genetics and how much they play a role in our future and disease. The wonderful news that I have for you today is they have found that there's only about 2% of our future that is dictated by our genes if we live a life that is focused on balancing what's called epigenetics. And that means that we balance our faith, our food, our fitness, our function, like, how healthy we are, our family and friends, our relationships, and our finances. And finances kind of go into managing our work and our productivity and all areas of our life. And genes, but actually genetic genes, don't matter so much. And that's really freeing for me because my dad has Alzheimer's disease and I have one of the ApoE gene SNPs, which is indicating Alzheimer's in my future. And the wonderful thing that I found out was that only increases my likelihood for Alzheimer's about 15%, and the average population has about the same threat even without that gene. So that's really comforting to me, but it's also my passion to focus on epigenetics and balancing the function of my body, the foods that I eat, my relationships and how healthy they are, my faith, which is my walk with Jesus Christ, and my finances. Every single part of our life is like building muscle, and it's really interesting. If we focus our emotional health, that's building a muscle. If we are focusing on our prayer life or our spiritual life, that's building a muscle. If we're needing to repair a relationship on forgiveness with friends or family, that's building another muscle. So everything takes work, and unfortunately with human nature, it takes something like a fear or a pain that causes us really to approach something to permanently change it. I'd like to encourage everybody with the knowledge that I've learned over the years addressing my faith and my function and my fitness and food, and just share with you the little tips and all the different things that I've tried. The first things that I want to focus on today, besides educating you and letting you know about epigenetics, you may have never heard of it, and it's really an interesting scientific concentration, and I really encourage you to investigate it. But the other thing that I want to come to you today is about fear. I had a conversation with a friend yesterday, and some of the choices that she was making and some of the things she was doing that weren't really helping her further her career and good relationships in the workplace were all stemming from fear because of behavior of other people around her. And I was trying to encourage her to choose to do the right thing with her choices and the things that she did, and accept responsibility whenever maybe she hadn't done something correctly, and instead of always being defensive and not learning from the situation, but to just say, hey, I didn't know any better. It's okay to not know better, especially when you're new. Or even if you have been there a while and things have changed, it's always okay to say I didn't know. It does not insult your intelligence. It does not mean that you're less valuable. But one thing that she had said is some of the relationships that she had were very stressful to her, and she was in fear of her job. And I explained to her that if she kept operating in that fear zone, that she would lose her job. But if she realized and decided that if I lost my job, what would I do? Then she could have in her mind the security of, if she lost that job, she would go and find another job. And you take that process of, if the biggest fear that I have, I then have an answer or a game plan for if it were to take place. A lot of times it'll give you the security in the current position you're in to embrace the hard decisions and to do what's right, and then all the fear just disappears. I'd like to encourage you today to try to look at your health and your fear and see how possibly you can change something that you're looking at so that it's not causing undue stress on your body, because that's one of the concepts of epigenetics. And so we all have way too much fear in our lives on a daily basis, and it's very important to realize that some of the things that are driving us are really just not worth it. Please like, share, and subscribe.